The next stop is
Havelock Road.
The next stop is
Robertson Street.
The next stop is
Pier.
The next stop is
Eversfield Place.
The next stop is
Warrior Square. This stop is Warrior Square, 99, 2, Eastbourne.
The next stop is
Market Street.
The next stop is
Marina Pavilion.
The next stop is
Greba Court.
The next stop is
Marina Fountain.
The next stop is
Bo Peep. This stop is Bo Peep, 99, 2, Eastbourne.
The next stop is
Cinque Ports Way.
The next stop is
Harley Chute Road Bottom.
The next stop is
Aldi.
The next stop is
Freshfields.
The next stop is
The Bull.
The next stop is
Bexley Avenue.
The next stop is
Esso Garage.
The next stop is
Ravenside Retail Park.
The next stop is
Lynn Ascent.
The next stop is
Penland Road.
The next stop is
Dorset Road.
The next stop is
Hastings Road.
The next stop is
Manor Barn.
The next stop is
Railway Station.
The next stop is
The Harp.
The next stop is
De La Warr Pavilion.
The next stop is
Parkhurst Road.
The next stop is
Woodville Road.
The next stop is
Richmond Road.
The next stop is
Richmond Avenue.
The next stop is
Collington Wood.
The next stop is
Parges Lane.
The next stop is
Nelson House.
The next stop is
Pinewoods.
The next stop is
St. Martha's Church.
The next stop is
Wheatsheaf.
next stop is
Howard's Crescent.
the next stop is
The Broadwalk.
the next stop is
Sandhurst Lane.
the next stop is
Pevensey Roundabout.
the next stop is
Church Lane.
the next stop is
Level Crossing.
the next stop is
Richmond Road.
the next stop is
St Wilfrid's Church.
the next stop is
Val Princeps Road.
the next stop is
Cannon Campsite.
the next stop is
Old Martello Road.
the next stop is
Tanbridge Road.
the next stop is
Asda.
the next stop is
Ramsey Way.
the next stop is
Sovereign Centre.
the next stop is
Car Park.
the next stop is
Cambridge Road.
the next stop is
Pier.
the next stop is
Burlington Road.
the next stop is
Trinity Place.
the next stop is
Memorial Roundabout.
the next stop is
Gildridge Road. This service terminates here. Please make sure you have all your belongings. Thank you for traveling with us.